yet we don't use this phrase anymore. So what I want to do today is just open our eyes a little bit, broaden our horizons, and say, other cultural Christian words we use now to describe somebody who's in Christ, but I want us to just be thinking about the biblical way that we are supposed to describe each other, that we are in Christ. And when we're in Christ, there's something about that. You're in Christ, and I'm in Christ. There's unity as a body because we are all in Christ. And so as we focus on this today, I just want you to be thinking about that. So these days, when describing a Christian's transformation or conversion, you're more likely to hear that somebody got saved. So-and-so got saved. So-and-so got saved. We say this a lot. I always think that's kind of an interesting phrase because I think for people outside the faith, they'd be like, saved from what? What'd you get saved from? So it's not really that descriptive. But that phrase doesn't fully capture the core idea of what took place in a person's life when they come to know Jesus. So let's look at the difference between these two phrases, saved versus in Christ. Saved is something that you got. It's almost like somebody got a cold, right? Is it lifelong? Is it temporary? Somebody got something, right? It's a singular event. Saved is something you got. Being in Christ is something you, what's that word? It's something you are. Saved describes an event that took place in somebody's life. I got saved. And some people, for them, the date that they got saved is very important. Like, I got saved on April 26th, 2000-something, right? The date becomes important. I don't know the date that I was saved. I don't know the date that I started being in Christ. I don't know what that date is. For me, it was over time. I mean, I know I was less than 10. I think I was probably 6 years old when I first remember wanting to follow Jesus. But that was kind of like an event. But an event just happens once, and then you kind of move on with your life. Being in Christ describes your what? Your identity. There's a lot of talk about identity these days, isn't there? Especially with gender, right? Identity. It's like the core thing of who you are. And as believers in Jesus, the core thing of who we are, if anybody says, what's that person really about? If we've surrendered our life to Christ and we are living in Christ and the people around us know that we're surrendered to Christ, the first thing that people should say about us is that person, their identity was in Christ. You could see it by the way they loved other people. You can see it by the way that they surrendered what they wanted to God and they did what God wanted instead of what they wanted. They were a selfless person. They were a humble person. They served other people because they lived in Christ. That was their identity.